I'm Eric.
And I'm Gabby.
And we saw Iron Man 3, so now we're gonna talk about it.
I'm Tony Stark. I build neat stuff. I got a great girl. And occasionally, save the world. So why can't I sleep?
Okay.
So Gabby, what'd you think of the movie?
I really liked it.
You really liked it? I really
thought
liked it
it
too.
was good. I was surprised. Well, I wasn't surprised because of the people involved, but I was happy with how much it was. Better than what I was expecting, really.
Yeah. I liked it too. I thought it was a good follow-up to the Avengers.
Yeah, they do a good job of like bringing that in, but not.
I agree. And I also thought that was a really good way to go about following up the Avengers instead of trying to make it bigger.
Yeah, they brought it back down, which is great.
They made it like a character movie.
Which is great because the rest of the films, they can't all just keep escalating and get ridiculous. So.
Yeah. Acting, what'd you think?
I thought it was good. I thought they toned down a bit of the improv from the second film, which really started to annoy me.
Well, I feel like that was Shane Black knowing how to control
Robert Downey Jr. Right.
Not only write, but control Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I also really liked I think the best parts were his interactions with the kids when it came to like acting.
That was amazing.
With the acting, like their chemistry, like you always talk about chemistry.
Yeah.
They were like fantastic together.
Yeah, he was hilarious. And like the things he said to the kid.
I know.
It was just like stuff that I've always wanted to say to stupid, annoying children.
Like, oh my gosh, I can just say this to them. Why have I been so nice to them my whole life? But
yeah, that was great. I think him and Gwyneth Paltrow are
they're
great together.
Oh yeah. They've always worked. The casting's always been good in the Marvel films. Like, there's nobody I've been like, they should do somebody else.
Yeah.
It's always correct.
But it had an all-star cast, and they all came to play.
Right? I mean, even Guy Pearce.
Yep, Guy
did
Pearce
a great job.
and Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley was amazing.
I want to come back to when we start to do spoilers.
Right.
Because there's something about their performances that I found really interesting.
I thought it, for a long movie, it was like over 2 hours.
It was, 2:15.
It wasn't, like...
That's your fault.
That is my fault. That's okay. It wasn't... I didn't feel it was slow. Like, it had bits where it was slow.
Yeah.
But, like, I didn't get bored. You know, I could feel it calming down.
Yeah. When it was going slow, it was like Tony...
And being
intellectual Tony Stark.
Because, you know what it is? It's because the dialogue was just so goddamn good.
Yeah.
It was just... everything was funny.
It
was Shane Black all over the place.
Yeah, really well written.
Yeah, so
yeah, it never felt boring.
Right, because there was always like a funny little pick me up line. Like that's what it was.
Even when things were getting like kind of really dark, it would have like
I just stole a poncho from a Moden Indian. You know, like it's.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. The action of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, because most of it's him fighting as Tony Stark, which was cool.
Right, I liked.
But then when he finally does get back to being Iron Man, it was awesome. I thought that final fight scene was wicked. It was really good.
It did what I was hoping it would do because everyone knows, this is not a spoiler, there are a bunch of armors.
Yeah, it's in the trailer.
It did exactly what I hoped it was going to be doing, and I can't say what it is just yet, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And I was like, yes, this is why.
But also that's why I liked how slow it was. Not slow, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it built up. And when you got to the end fight scene was so satisfying. You hated that villain. It's really the only way you can say it without spoiling it because it's kind of odd. But you hated him, and I really wanted him to I wanted Tony Stark to beat the crap out of him.
I actually didn't feel too antagonistic towards him. Like, I didn't like him.
Yeah, well.
But it was kind of,
I felt he was like an asshole.
Well, he was. I mean, that definitely did a good job with that. I mean, yeah. I think it was just at the end, the part where he, really becomes an asshole. It was, maybe that's a little bit of a problem. It was still played for such laughs. Like, it was serious. Actually, fairly serious. But he was still funny. So the tonality kind of stayed the same, so there wasn't a point where it was suddenly business is serious and he's an asshole and Tony's got to stop him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a good bad guy.
It made up for the final fight scene of 2. Because that one
just Final Fight.
Exactly.
Oh yes, with in the.
Yeah, because it had like all the robots going around and stuff, and then with Whiplash, and then it was like over in 2 minutes, and it was just.
And it was like, why didn't you just close his helmet?
Yeah, it was like the most anticlimactic thing like ever, and but this one I was really invested.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, that was great, and it was. You could see what was going for all the stuff that was happening. Like there was a fair amount of things going on.
Yeah, and you knew everything that was happening.
Right, I felt you could like really see and understand all the players and what they were doing and where they were in the set piece.
Yeah.
I liked it. So yes, obviously I would recommend it as well.
Yeah.
Once we're getting to that.
So.
And this is kind of the end of our
spoiler-free section.
This is where we just get to like geek out about all the awesome stuff in it. So if you haven't seen it yet, take a break, then come back and watch it after.
Yeah. So spoilers now.
The Mandarin must be stopped.
You don't know who I am. You'll never see me coming.
So the Mandarin...
Immediately into that, of course.
Yeah, because that's like what I want to talk about. The Mandarin... What did you think of the Mandarin?
Didn't bother me at all.
Didn't bother you at all?
I don't know shit about the Mandarin.
See, I don't really care about the Mandarin. I thought what they did was awesomely clever.
I saw it coming pretty easily. Like, well, because I read Extremis, so I know what's gonna happen.
I hadn't read Extremis in a while.
Like, I knew Aldrich Killian. I knew he was. I mean, actually, in the comic, he dies like really early on. He kills himself. But I knew where they were going. I knew that what's her face, the girl, was actually going to be working for him the whole time. That's all from the comic.
Yeah.
And I knew the Mandarin. Like, I could tell. Like, immediately, especially when they like brought him into the building, like in Miami or whatever. I was like, obviously, or was that past when they? No, that's before Tony really. Even then, it was like, I don't think a Middle Eastern warlord would, like, travel to the U.S. in all of his gear.
Yeah,
and, like,
looking like...
Yeah, you know.
But that's not really what I mean. Like, when he, because I like how it sort of played with the fact that all villains now have to look over the top, have a voice, and he totally made him look...
That, really.
Yeah, Shane Black... Yeah, Shane Black made him look like he was gonna be this new epic Joker, Bane villain. And I love how it was just like, he's just some asshole.
Some guy.
It's just Ben Kingsley being
Ben
high
Kingsley,
and stuff.
Right?
And then when it's Guy Pearce is the Mandarin.
And then they make the reference. Like,
and he has the tattoos and stuff.
It's Fing Fang.
Fing Fang Foom, yeah. And, we're such geeks. But, no, and like, yeah, because you don't have to have the Mandarin. I didn't feel like you had to have the Mandarin look like the Mandarin from the comics.
Specifically when they mentioned, when they said the rings are not magic alien tech, which I wasn't surprised at. I didn't expect them to be like, yeah, he found them. Like, where would you find them?
Yeah, and it'd be stupid if they, like, was fire, ice. That'd be dumb.
Yeah. So once that happened, I was like, because otherwise he's kind of just, like, he's, like, a not very good Ra's-al-Ghul. Like, honestly.
Yeah, essentially.
So I was like, I don't care. Like, Mandarin's not that interesting to me. Of course, I'm saying this not knowing him very well, but,
yeah, apparently people are really pissed off.
Yeah.
But not really.
All of a sudden, like, where are all these Mandarin fans coming that, like...
How dare you ruin my favorite villain, the Mandarin!
Right.
Yeah,
I know, it's ridiculous, but...
like, who knew there would be an outcry for that?
But yeah, that didn't bother me at all. Just like Pepper, real big spoiler here, Pepper kills the bad guy. That doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, it didn't bother me either.
Oh my gosh, that was so violent. She's adorable.
Yeah, she is. I love her.
Yeah, she's good.
And he's just like, you should wear that all the time. The sports bra.
Yeah. Right. At the end with Bruce, that was so cute.
Oh yeah,
I'm so glad that they like brought up the friends. Like they're what do they call them? Like science bros.
Yeah,
like, that's what they are.
But about that, like I was so glad to see Banner. I love the Hulk, and it was fantastic. It was a great ending to the movie. But I was so immaturely pissed off that it wasn't like an allusion to what was going to happen next.
See, I had been told that it was like someone had told me what it was because of course the after credit scenes like always leak on YouTube before.
No, I know, but I avoid them.
Me too, but I
even avoid people saying stuff about them.
Well, I was like, don't spoil it for me. Someone did say that it was like the shawarma scene, so I was expecting like a little cute little thing. I liked that they managed to have Tony fight as Tony against like these super people.
Yeah.
Like Batman or MacGyvered, I guess would be more. He like MacGyvered his way out of things. with like lighting the.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, when he like built all that stuff, and he just basically walks into that house,
and just
like
the kid is like, why don't you just build something? He's like, I do build things.
No, his literal response was, he was just like, why don't you just build something? He was like, okay. I love how basically this whole movie is, you know, in Captain America and the Avengers, like, take away the suit of armor, blah, blah, blah. What do you have left?
Right.
You have Iron Man 3.
And I actually thought of that.
I did too, like a lot.
Yeah. And I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
Show
it's like
Cap
you have like badass Tony Stark. Right, that's what you have.
I also liked I liked Jarvis a lot in this one. Like he was an actual character. Like he did things.
Yeah, he was a lot more important.
Like he saved Tony's life multiple times if you count the end.
Well, because he's basically controlling all the suits. I know. It's Jarvis.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because Jarvis is awesome. I love Jarvis. I also like that in the comic, like Tony, the whole like, oh, the suit's in the hollow of my bones, not the suit, but the interface. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that.
Well, I liked the way they did with him shooting the shit into his arm, and then
it was like a sensor.
Would come to him. Right. That's like almost exactly what I was hoping they would do.
Right.
Because I think the whole thing like coming out of his skin is like kind of really stupid.
First, it's like super creepy and it makes no sense. Yeah. Like that was always the part of Extremis that like kind of.
Like I can let it go in a comic book, but if they had tried to do it in the movie, I would not have been okay.
How about at the end he just fucking has the surgery to get the shrapnel out? It's not the 60s.
Yeah.
Like I'm so glad they just did that. Like you're a billionaire.
But still, it's like he doesn't have the thing anymore.
So you wonder like what's there. Did they just like put putty in and just like caulk it over? That's a big hole. That's a huge hole in his chest.
Well, I mean, it always kind of was. Like, I mean, it had the.
There's like a canister. It was like a can of beans.
And I mean, he had all that missing already. So.
But I mean, yeah, now when it's not.
I would just assume that it's the metal, and they just went over it. So, in the end, we recommend it.
Yes, it was good.
It was a good movie. You should go out and see it. Mm-hmm. If you like this video, like it on YouTube. Also in the description, we have a link for our review blog, where I review movies and she reviews comic books, including Iron Man 3.
And Extremis. And we'll be doing this for more superhero films, geek films. He'll be doing some solo ones. I'll be coming in when they're fun to argue. Mostly, that's kind of what I'm here for.
Pretty much it, yeah.
Although this one we didn't argue much, but yeah.
So, yeah.
Enjoy.